See, first, please tell me, what do you mean by key pair, sir? Key pair, what is key pair? Anyone?
It is a password.
Yeah, it is kind of a, yeah, it is kind of a password which is we use to log into our EC2 instance or to our server. That is what you know, right? Now, let us understand what is this key pair, how it internally works inside your EC2 machine, all those details. Okay. So, primarily, we use this key pair to secure our server, right? That is to secure our EC2 instance. We are using this. What is this key pair? That is from unauthorized access. If you want to protect your EC2 server, then we are going to create our password file, right? And whenever you create this password file, please store it in a like secure location, because if anyone, if I'm having this key pair, sir, let's say I have a key pair known as a laptop.pem. If I just share this key with anyone, he can able to access the into any of the server that I created using this password. Okay, so whenever you are storing these passwords, please make sure to store in a secure location. If anybody gets this key, he can able to easily log into those servers. That is being said, let us understand. See, till now, you know, it is just a password. But now what I wanted to do was just call it as key pair. Whenever, see, till now, it is just kind of a password used to secure your EC2 instance from a unauthorized access. This is what we learned, right? And whenever you create, when you click on that button, create key pair, one, what is that? File gets downloaded with extension .pem. Only these things we know, right? But now, whenever you create a key pair, what happens inside your EC2 machine, that we need to discuss. Okay. So when you click on this create key pair, or when you're creating this key pair, what happens? Two things gets generated. One is we call it as a public key, and second one is private. Okay. So what is this public key? See, public key is nothing but when you create, just give me a second, please. See, what is this public key? When you create an EC2 instance in this console, see, just clicking on EC2 instance is running, launch instance, just come back here, create key pair. The moment I click on create key pair, and if I just say okay, that I have wanted to discuss here, create key pair, then what happens? Two things gets generated inside your AWS account or inside your EC2 machine. First one, public key gets generated, and second thing is private key gets generated. What is this public? First, we'll talk about private key. Private key is nothing but whatever the file you download, whatever the file you are using for logging into your EC2 server, that file we call it as a private key. Okay. And what is this public key? Whenever you create an EC2 machine, inside your EC2 machine, it again generates one more password file. internally inside your EC2 machine. That thing we call it as a public key. Clear? What is private key? When this is your private key. If I just show you, where is this one? This is my, can you see this? Laptop key dot pem. This is the password or a PEM file that I'm using from to log into my server. This is a private key. Okay. And what is public key? Public key, where it will be stored? It will be stored inside your EC2 instance. It will be getting stored and it is generated during your EC2 creation. Okay. Now, let us slowly get into that. Yes, everybody understood what is public key and what is private key. What happens when you create a key pair? Two keys get generated. One is private key and another one is public key. What is private key? Private key is nothing but the file .pem file that you are using to logging into EC2 machine. What is public key? Public key is nothing but it is getting generated inside your EC2 machine. But why it is doing that? See, if you want to secure your EC2 instance from unauthorized access, okay, then there is a process that AWS is following. Internally, they are following this process. What is that process? If this is your EC2 instance, let's say this is your EC2 instance, and somewhere here your public key is stored. Okay, and from your computer, this is your computer, you are trying to logging into this server using your public private key, right? See the key which is stored in your laptop, in your local laptop, that is your private key. The key which is stored in the server is nothing but public key. Whenever you try to log into this server through SSH, whenever you do SSH, right? What happens internally? It tries to compare your private key with your public key. Only these two matches, then it allows you or it allows you to log into your EC2 instance. See, when you try to, let me repeat, when you try to log into your server, this is my server, then you log in from your local laptop using your private key. Internally, what AWS will do, it will try to compare your private key with your public key. Only if these two things are matchable, then it allows inside your EC2 instance or inside your server. That is what happens internally. Clear, guys? How this process works? I'll show you how to do all these things, where it is stored. Okay, I hope everybody understood this. Okay, now let me write down some points for you. Public key, public and private. Okay. Public key is used to, these are some words, please remember, is used to encrypt the data and private key is used to decrypt the data. And those are the only words you just need to use. And you should never share your private key. That is the one thing. Okay. So public key, private key used to decrypt and used to encrypt the data. Only if these two keys are matchable, then it allows you inside the EC2 instance. Fine. Now, let us see. Let me log into the server and show you where this public key gets stored. Whenever you are done with your working or with your practice, please stop these instances. Otherwise, you need to pay some amount, sir. Okay. Now, now I logged into one of the server. Now I told you, right? Public key is stored inside your, what is that? Inside your server. Where it is getting stored? See, if you just go to cd root slash dot ssh. If you go to this path, first go to this path. Okay, just do ls. You can able to see three things here or multiple things. But here you can able to see something called as authorized keys. Okay, just that is a file. Just cat that file, cat authorized files, authorized keys. See, this is your public key. When you created your EC2 instance at that time, from your AWS side, this key got generated and stored under here cd root.ssh. Then there is a file known as authorized keys. Under this authorized keys, this is your public key. Here, this is for security reasons they are doing it, sir. Okay, sir, everybody understood this? Please confirm.
Yeah.
What is public key? What is private key? Public key encryption, decryption, this comparison. How? See, this mechanism, we call it as a, this one, I explained you, right? This one, we call it as a public private key authentication. What is this authentication? I don't want to allow any unauthorized accesses. I don't want to allow who is not part of this EC2 instance. I don't want to give the access to some hackers. So that is what we call it as a public private key authentication. That is, it will just compare your private key with your public key. If these two are encrypt and decrypt, this is an encrypted key and this is an decrypted key. If both the values are same, then it will allow you inside a EC2 machine. This is what happens. I think everybody has know this. How we are going to store private keys. So in organization, how we are going to store private keys? Yeah, very good question. See, in AWS, there is a service known as KMS. Okay, key service management. So using this service, we are going to discuss at later point of time. Using this service, we are going to store our PEM keys inside your AWS account. And you'll not be getting this PEM key because if you are the root user of AWS account, see, when you try to log in to your what is this? Just give me a second, I'll just show you this. Let me log out first. I'll show you. If you click on sign into console, just a second. See here. Here there are two options. First one, sign in using root user email. That means you are the complete administrator of this AWS account. Okay. The second way of logging into your AWS account is IAM user. What is this IAM user? Let us assume there are hundreds 100 employees in your company, inside your company. Then you'll be having one or two administrators who are managing this AWS account. Remaining 98 people, how they log in? They'll log in as an IAM user. So what is this IAM user? That we'll discuss maybe next week or something like that. But as of now, there are two ways. Not everybody can become this admin user. Only few can be admins and few and others are IAM users. Okay, we'll be just logging into that particular service that you want to work. That will discuss how to create IAM user service. Okay. So for your question, where you will store this PEM key, you will be storing under something called as KMS. And there are some other locations that we'll discuss. Okay. Now, that is being said. Sir, everybody understood, I know. Now, my question is, see, I told you whenever you create this key pair or key, what happens internally that you understood. What happens? Public key gets generated, private key gets generated. They'll compare to each other and it will allow you inside a EC2 machine. That is also fine. I also told you where this public key stores. This is stored under tilde symbol /.ssh. Under this path, your public key gets stored and you can able to view that. Now my question is, without, I just wanted to ask you this question. Now, I'm not using this AWS console. See, just let me log in. Okay, I'll do it later. See, now if I try to create one instance, see here, there is an option of creating a create new key pair. But my question is, I don't want to create a key pair from this console, from this AWS account. From this console, I don't want to just click on this button and give all the details and just click on create key pair. I don't want it to do this way. What I wanted to do is I wanted to create my public key and is this why bro? See, what I wanted to do is I wanted to create this public key and my private key, both inside my computer, in my local computer, I wanted to generate. And what I wanted to do, then I wanted to add those public and private key to my EC2 server or inside my AWS account. I wanted to add these things. This is my requirement. Everybody understood? See, what I wanted to do is there is a key pair that I created. I created some key pair. Now, how I created this? I created this key pair manually. That is inside my local laptop I generated. And now what I wanted to do from my local laptop, I need to import. Okay, I think everybody know this. I need to import this key pair inside my AWS. This is what I wanted to do, sir. Does everybody understood what is the requirement here? What we are trying to do? Guys, please respond now. Well, now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I'm just creating key pair in my local laptop. Then I wanted to import these key pair into my AWS account. That is what I wanted to do. Then how you are going to do it, sir? Okay. See, while discussing your what is that? GitHub, first class or second class. I told you one command, ssh-keygen. Do you remember? Right? See, this is a command which is used to generate public key and private key where you wanted to generate inside your local machine or anywhere. It is a command used to generate your public key and private key. Okay, this is the command that we are going to use. First thing, generate your public key and private key. So come back. You go and execute this command anywhere you want, sir. But what I'll do is, just for your understanding, where is this? Why am I not getting that? See, first go to Windows, users, username, just first come to C, then users, then your username. Here you can able to see ssh.ssh folder. Okay, just right click and open one git bash here. Okay, I'm just opening git bash here. Now see here, these are the files available. Please observe, if I do ssh hyphen keygen, what happens? Again, two more files gets generated here with some different name. Just write down ssh keygen here and just click on enter. Okay, just click on enter, enter, enter. See, two files got created here. This one, these two, IDE 25519, IDE 24419. Now, if I just do LL long listing, see, today what is the date, sir? Today's date is September 5, correct? So today at 7:30 a.m., two files got generated. Okay, can you able to see this? ID ED25519, and you can able to see .pub. This is your public key, and this is your private key. Okay, public key extension is .pub. Private key, there is no extension. Now, what is my requirement? I need to add this key pair inside my AWS account. What I wanted to do, just cat ID ed255.pub. Just cat that file, click on enter and copy this. Just follow the step, what am I doing, whatever I'm doing here. Copy, okay. Then come back to your AWS account. Okay, just come back to your AWS account. Here under this console, if you just go down, you can able to see some option known as key pairs here. Okay, just click on key pairs, and here there are two options: create new key pair. I don't wanted to create a new key pair. What I wanted to do, I wanted to import a new key pair. So just click on actions here, import key pair. Click on that. Just provide the name. What I'll do, any name, ABC, password or something, password dot, just password. Okay, see, this is the same name. Please remember, you just remember, I'll come back to this. Please use the same name or any name that you want, but remember that name. And under this box, just copy paste your public key. Okay, just create import key pair. Now my password PEM key is created. Once it is done, just come back to your EC2 instance. Okay, now just click on instances running, launch instance. and I'm creating a new EC2 server, a test server. I'll create test. Okay, same Ubuntu machine. You're eligible, everything is fine. See, now this is my section now. This is my focus as of now. If you just click on this, why? See, can you able to see password? This we did not generate it using this key pair option. We manually created inside our laptops, and now we imported that public key into our what is that AWS account. Okay, now I'm creating a EC2 instance using this PEM key. Just click on password. Okay, next just leave everything blank and launch instance. I'm launching an instance. Okay, just wait for a second. Yeah, it is running now. So till now, just to summarize what we did. First, what we did, sir. Anybody wants to try? SSH keygen. You need to execute this command. Once you execute this command, what happens? Two things get generated. One is .pub, public key, and private key. Private key is your login file, sir. This is stored under EC2 machine at which location .ssh. This is where it gets stored. Once this is done, what is the second step? You need to import your public key into your AWS account. That you know. You just need to cat .pub file and copy paste it under your AWS account. Then what is the purpose? Then create a EC2 instance using your imported key. Using this key we imported, right? Using that key, just create an EC2 instance. Now, I wanted to log into this EC2 instance. Correct? I wanted to log into this EC2 instance. See, public key I just imported, right? But private key, this private key is already inside my laptop, right? What you just need to do is just copy private key content and create a file, create a file, text file with the same name, with the same name as we like in while importing that we provided a name, right? Password with the same name dot pem extension. This is what you need to do. Okay, so first what we know, we need to copy that. How will you copy? Control LL. See, today we already copied this public file. What is the private file? This one. Just cat id hyphen ed. Just enter. You can able to see this private key, right? Now what I wanted to do, just copy this content, create one file. How to create a file? Vi password dot pem. Okay, just click on enter, insert, and paste it here. Okay, just save it. Done. You can able to see password.pem is ready. Just a second. Okay, your private key is ready, your public key is ready, and we have created one EC2 instance using all this data. Now what is pending? I just need to log into that EC2 instance. SSH-I. What is the password we use? Password.pem, who is the user, Ubuntu, and I just need to copy the IP address from here, from this test server. See, just click on enter. Yes, what is happening? It is comparing your public key with your private key. Just click on yes. Can you able to see? You just logged into your server, which is just created just now. Clear? Guys, any doubts here? At least you understood what we did. At least unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, Sachin.
Yeah. See, we did just a simple task here. Instead of creating your key pair inside your AWS account, what we did, we created that key pair manually in our local machine and we imported that into your AWS. That is I just showed you some 5 steps. Execute this command. Then under C users and username .ssh file. Here, 2 files gets generated whenever you execute this command. What are those? Public key and private key. Private key is used to log into that system. Public key is stored in your EC2 machine. Okay. And second step, you need to import that public key. What you need for importing, just cat that file, copy it, go to your AWS account under key pair section. Under actions, you can able to see one option that is import, right? Just provide the name, copy paste it, done. Then you create a EC2 machine with that. Then copy private key, and this private key we are using it for logging in purpose, right? And create a file with the same name where you imported with some name, right? That same name, and just try to log into that server. So this is what we did. Clear? And now what I wanted to do was, see, I hope everybody understood this. See, this is kind of an interview process or interview questions they'll keep asking. Okay. So the plan is, first I wanted to complete this EC2 server, EC2, all the things what are related things. Okay. And maybe by Saturday, sometimes I'll take classes on Saturday, so please don't uh, like give me some galis or something. Sometimes, please. Okay. Saturday or someday, we'll discuss whatever the interview questions that we got till now, till today. What are the interview questions that we have? All those things that we'll discuss. Okay. So that is the plan. Now, so we understood today what is key pair, how key pair works, how to manually create a key pair and import it into inside your AWS account. Till now we understood, right? Next question is, just tell me, this is an assignment for you. I'll also explain this. Next question is, see, I have a key pair .pim I have. Okay. I lost this key pair. Okay. I have a key pair and I lost this key pair, this password file. Then how to recover? How to recover this .pem key, or how to take a backup of that EC2 instance? This I want you to research or do some basic research. Okay. I think everybody understood the question. I have a PEM key. I lost this PEM key. Okay. Then how we are going to recover this PEM key, or how you are going to take a backup of this EC2 instance data? Data is present inside your EC2, or how you are going to take a backup of it? Okay. This is the question. Please go through and just do some research. Next is, so that is the entire story related to your what is that? Uh, what is that? Related to your key pair. That is done. That is what happens when you create a key pair. Okay. Next one is we just need to discuss about something called as instance types. Instance types. Okay. What are these instance types, sir? Let me just tell you. See, if this is the laptop, you wanted to buy a new laptop, just to give you a basic here. If you wanted to buy a new laptop, what you will look for? You look for RAM, you look for hard disk, you look for number of core CPUs, performance, a graphic card, all these things that you look for. Again, after finalizing all these things, how many brands you have? There are multiple thousands of 10,000s of brands available with these configurations, correct? And you will choose one among them, correct? See, you wanted to buy a laptop, there are thousands of options available, and from that you will choose one. Instance type is also nothing but the same, sir. There are thousands of EC2 types available. There are thousands of EC2 types available. From this one, based on your requirement, you are going to choose your EC2 type. That's it. Just like selecting your laptop, you're going to select your EC2 instance based on your requirement, based on your application. How critical is your application is, whether it's a basic application or a web application or it is a gaming application. Based on that, you're going to select this EC2 instance type. Okay, so it is just a theory, sir. I just need to show that. Okay, first type in your EC2 instance is general purpose. General purpose EC2 instance. Okay, what is this general purpose? The name itself suggests it is a general, that is simple use. If you have any simple applications, sir, simple applications in the sense a small web application, a small website, or a small game, or some small database application. If you have these kind of small applications, then you will go for general purpose EC2 instances. Just like your i3 laptops are there, right? Just for a small work, you will go for i3, that one. Okay. Okay. Oh, where it is. Okay, that is what the general purpose is. This is for a general use, simple use cases that we're going to use this general purpose. Please do not invest much time, just because in some interviews they started asking what are the types of EC2 instances. You just need to tell them, okay, these are the types available. What is the use of them? Where we are going to use? That's it. You no need to remember what are the types. See, in general purpose, we have almost 30 types of T series and M series. T2 micro, T2 dot micro, T2 dot nano, T2 dot small, T2 dot large, T2 dot X large. See, if you just come here, where is this? Just click on launch instance. And if you just come down, where is this? Instance type. Here, you can able to see this, correct? See, T2 nano, T2 micro, T2 small, T2 medium, T2 large, T2 X large, T2 2X large, T series, all this T series and M series. T series and M series comes under your general purpose EC2 instances. Okay, just give me a second, it is disconnected. Just remember this details, sir. Please do not dig deeper into this. Don't waste your time here. First one is general purpose. What is the second one? Second one is compute optimize. Just focus here and just learn this. No need to invest extra time here. What do you mean by compute optimize? See, when you want high performance, when you need high performance, then high performance of CPU, then you will go for this compute optimized type of instances. Okay, that is, if there are an application which requires heavy workload, there are applications which requires heavy workload applications. That might be your gaming laptop, gaming, or some banking application or something like that. Okay, which requires heavy CPU. Then we'll go for compute optimized instance type. Okay, and what is the series available here? Here it is a C series. Whichever the instance type starts with C, those things comes under your compute optimized CC. Please remember that CC. Okay. What is the third one? Third one we have is, and one more point here. These compute optimized are used to host your machine learning applications or gaming like your PUBG, which requires heavy CPUs, right? So if you wanted to host these kind of heavy applications, heavy gaming applications, heavy machine learning applications, then you will go for compute optimized type, right? Third one is memory optimized. Simple keywords here. You just need to understand this ones and leave. Okay. Memory optimized. What do you mean by memory, sir? Here, memory is nothing but a RAM. See, first one was simple to use. T and M series, small applications, compute optimized, high performance of CPU, C series, and MLOps and gaming applications. Here, high performance of CPU is required. Here, what is required? Here, we require more RAM. That is the meaning. That is, if you want to compute or process or perform multiple tasks, at a time, then you're going to choose this memory optimized. Okay, what is mean by memory optimized? That is a increased RAM performance. New generation RAMs are being used inside this EC2 instances. Okay, if you wanted to compute a process or perform multiple tasks at a time, then you're going to use memory optimized. That is, here we have R and X series. R and X series are the type of EC2 instances comes under memory optimized. Okay, here what kind of applications we usually host? Here we host a DB application or a big data application. Okay, these kind of applications we host under memory optimized. Next one is storage optimized. So this is not that much important concept. I'm just giving you what is this, what it will do, what are the series comes under this, and why we are using it. Just learn that. Okay. Storage optimized. In storage optimized, what is mean by storage? You want more storage, 100 GB of storage you want, or 1000 GB of storage you want, then you'll go for storage. That's it. What are the series comes under here? I, D, and H. These are the three series comes under your storage optimized. Okay, these are the types of EC2 instances available. Even there are multiple types available still, but for us this is enough. Okay, instance type, first one general use, T series and M series, compute optimized, that means more CPU. C series, memory optimized, more RAM. R and X series, storage optimized, uh, more storage is available. And what are the series? ID and H. Just remember this. Okay, no need to like get deeper into that. See, if you just come here, you can able to see this list. All these things are types of your EC2 instances. There are thousands of types available, sir. See, can you see this? Okay, so that's it. That is the types of EC2 instances. Fine. Any doubt? No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Let us discuss one more concept here. Let me complete that. Otherwise, these theory concepts keep on dragging. I'll just keep dragging them. Okay. The second concept is placement groups. Okay. What is this placement group? See, when you create, see, yesterday, that is the reason I told you what is region, what happens when you create a EC2 instance, inside region, inside availability zone, all this story I explained, right? Yesterday, inside availability zone, inside one data center, inside rack, inside this hypervisor, your EC2 instance gets created. Okay. See, what are these things? First, let us discuss what is the default behavior of your EC2 install. I'm not writing this here. Okay. What is the default behavior of your EC2 instance that I wanted to discuss? See, when you create, please understand this carefully. When you create EC2 instance, launch instance, or create an instance, what happens? The process you already know, inside a region, inside an availability zone, inside one of the data center, inside one of the rack, inside your one of the hypervisor, it is getting created. But how it will choose this data center, how it will choose this rack, how it will choose this hypervisor, this is because if you take it as an data center, this is data center. Inside data center, there are thousands of racks available, correct? And inside the rack, there are thousands of your hypervisors available. Then how it is going to choose? See, the default behavior is it will choose randomly. Now, when you create a EC2 instance, what it will do? It will just come to your data center, wherever the space is available, in whichever the rack, in whichever the hypervisor, it will just create that EC2 instance randomly. That's it. This is the default behavior of your EC2 instance whenever you create a EC2 server. But can we change this default behavior? Yes, we can change this default behavior. How we can change this? That is by using placement groups. Did you understood what is this placement group? Why we need this placement group? Guys? Okay, I'll take it. I'll assume it as yes then. So placement group is nothing but, see sir, now I wanted to create on EC2 server. Let me take a new page here. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a EC2 server. Then there are three options or three placement groups available for me. What are those things? First one, we call it as a cluster. I'll explain all these things. Second one is call it as a spread. Third one, we call it as a partition. Okay, these are the three kinds of placement groups available. Now, why we are using these placement groups? I wanted to change the default behavior of creating my EC2 instance randomly in any one of the server or in any one of the rack. I wanted to change that behavior. So for that reason, I'm using my placement group. See, if you create it as a cluster, what happens is inside your single rack, just take see if this is your one of the rack, okay, inside your data center, and there are this is your physical server or rack, and here there are multiple, what is that, hypervisors are available. So inside your rack, if you use cluster as your placement group, then what it will do, let's say I wanted to create some 10 EC2 instances. Okay. Now, what if you just select this cluster option? What happens internally? All these 10 machines are going to created inside a single hypervisor. Okay, that is the meaning of cluster. Okay, see, it is going to be created in a single hypervisor. It is going to create all these 10 instances. That is the meaning of cluster. But what are the advantage of creating the EC2 instances like this? It gives you high performance, increased performance of your application. And what is the disadvantages, sir? Your disadvantages. Let me move this little bit. Okay. See, this is your disadvantage. Sorry, advantage. What is the disadvantage? See, if this machine fails, and what they'll do is they'll share a common hardware resources, a common hardware, that is RAM, storage, is shared for this entire rack. See, did you understood, guys? What is this cluster placement group? If you wanted to create an EC2 instances, then what happens if you select cluster? It is going to create all these EC2 instances in a single hypervisor in a single rack. That is what it will do. And the same rack and same, it will be using same network and same storage for this entire rack. What is the advantage here? It improves the performance. I know you are getting bored, but I can't help, sir. This is also there. Just give me 2 minutes, I'll complete this. Next, we have a very interesting concept. Okay, just now, there is a high risk of failure here. You'll get a high performance, but there is a high risk. That is, you are creating all your 10 instances here. If this RAM and storage shared, this is shared between all these things, right? If this shared hardware resources are failed, then your entire application is down. So that is a high risk here. So that's why it depends on, if you want high performance and high risk, then you go for a cluster. It depends based on your applications. Now we'll come to spread. In spread, what happens? See, now in spread, inside your data center, what it will do, it will select. Now let's say I wanted to create some 3 EC2 instances. In each of the, it will select 3 racks first, and inside each rack, it will create one EC2 instance. In that way, you can able to avoid the high risk of high risk. Okay, but the problem here is, again, if these racks are sharing common hardware resources, if this hardware devices are gone, then again you can able to face the same issue of failure, high risk of failure chance. This is what spread is. See, what is cluster? Inside a single rack, you're going to create all the machines. What is spread? Inside your data center, it will select 3, or based on your number of instances, it will select different racks and it will create. But what is the difference? But all these racks are sharing common hardware device. That is RAM and hard disk. What is partition? Just this is your rack. And again, similar to your, what is that? Spread. But the difference is, see, I wanted to create 3 EC2 instances. Here one, it will create second, it will create third. But in spread, what was happening? It was sharing a common hardware resources. But here, it will share a different hardware resources. Even if one EC2 instance has gone down, we have 2 other instances. Okay, so these are the 3 placement groups available. And if you just come here, just click on EC2 instance, just come down. Where is this? See, just above your key page, you can able to see something called as placement groups. Okay, just click on that, create a placement group. Just provide any name. I'm just giving it as an ABC. Here you can able to see placement strategy. Okay, it is telling you determines how the instances are placed on the underlying hardware. Whatever the story I explained till now, that thing. Okay, if you just click on this, you can able to see cluster, spread, and partition. These are the three placement options are available inside your AWS. Okay, if you wanted to try, just try this. That is what a placement group is. Why I'm explaining you this one? See, in interviews, nobody uses this word placement group. This is because 90% of the people, they don't know this concept exists. Okay, and whenever you're talking about EC2 instance, oh, okay, and sometimes they'll ask you, what are the best practices of AWS? What are the best practices of AWS? First thing you mention this placement group. Okay. Along with what are three placement groups we have? Why we need placement group? Okay. Just to change the default behavior, and there is a high risk of failure if you follow the default process. So we are changing how to create our EC2 instances and how to manage them. That strategy we are implementing using your placement groups. Okay, please remember this. This is not that much important, but when in interview, if they ask how you are going to, what are the best practices for your AWS account or for your EC2 instance, first thing should come in your mind as placement group. How you're going to distribute your EC2 instances across your data centers. Okay, that is the first thing. And yeah, that is the theory I am done. Okay, guys, are you getting bored? Okay, can I continue for 10 more minutes?
Yeah. Can I explain once more, like advantages and disadvantages of split program groups?
See, what you just need to know is, where is this? See, you just need to use these two words. High risk of failure. Are you guys maintaining that sheet? I told you, maintain a separate keywords in this sheet. Please maintain this. It will help you a lot in your interview, sir. See, first day I told you what is fault tolerance, what is high availability, what are the other keywords we discussed?
Yes.
I forgot, sir. Please maintain this. Okay, this will help you in during your interview sessions. Again, add this high risk of failure. The second one is increased performance or decreased performance. Okay, when it will increase, when you use cluster as a placement group, your performance is increased. Okay, when you use spread or partition, your performance is not that much slow, but it is decreased. Okay, the next one is low latency. What do you mean by low latency, sir? Latency is nothing but if your network, if your latency is high, then your network speed is low, your internet speed is low. That is what the latency, the what we can call it as, sending and receiving the information, the speed of your network or data, how we are going to calculate based on your latency. If latency is high, that means latency is nothing but delay. Okay, if your latency is high, then network performance or speed of your network is very low. If latency is low, then your network performance is high. You must talk about all these three concepts. First one, what is that? All your EC2 instances are going to be created in a single rack. That means increased performance, Okay, because all are sharing common hardware devices and the communication between them becomes easy. But what is the problem? There is a high risk of failure is the one thing. If underlying hardware resources are failed, then entire rack goes down. This is the first one. And what is the second one? It, it will create separate EC2 instances in separate racks, but underlying hardware resources are same. Again, here performance is not that much low. It's minimal, medium. Okay. And here also there is a high risk of failure. If this underlying hardware fails, then your performance goes down. All application goes down. The final one is partition. That means each of your rack uses separate underlying hardware, uses separate hardware components. That means there is a very low risk of failure, but performance decreases. That is the meaning. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. Just give me some more minutes. I'll just complete one more concept. It is very interesting, sir. Okay. Now, are you guys interested or getting bored? I just wanted to confirm. Guys?
We can continue.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, Nagarjun. Right. So the next concept that I wanted to discuss is see, in organization, what happens is, this is your AWS account. Okay. And you are the owner of this account. You created this account, you're doing everything. But so that is the reason, because you're owner, you can able to see some create EC2 instance, create e-pair, some options you're getting here, right? See this console. See the way we are accessing this EC2 instance or AWS account, we call it as an accessing through console. That is just you're clicking on some buttons. These are the graphical buttons. Just click on this button. You can able to access all these things you're doing, right? Now let us assume I don't have this console access in real time for almost for not 90, 70% of the time you will not get this console access. Okay. Only if you become AWS administrator, then you will get the console access, this user interface that you will get. But as a DevOps engineer, you'll not get this console access. Okay. So at that time, you'll be just working on based on commands. You just need to work on the commands. Let us assume in the same scenario, I joined an organization. In that organization, they gave me only command line access. Only command line access they give. I don't have any user interface, or this account access I don't have. This account access I don't have. Whatever the things that you are seeing here. Okay. And at that time, if you wanted to, this is, let's say, this is one of your EC2 instance that you logged in just now. You don't have the, what is that? Console access you don't have. Now, I wanted to know the details of this EC2 instance. That is, what is the public IP address of this EC2 instance? What is the private IP of this EC2 instance? In which region it is created? What is the availability zone of this? What is the instance ID? What is the AMI ID? Multiple things I wanted to know. Is it possible using a or is it possible using command line? Yes, it is possible. See, whatever the information, see, we have created one EC2 instance right here. Test is a EC2 instance we created. And if you just look here, you have instance ID, unique ID, you have public IP address, you have private IP address, and there are multiple things available here. See, but when you don't have the access to this console, then what happens? How to get that data? There is a way. For that, what we call it as a metadata. What is this metadata, sir? Just understand this. Whenever you create an EC2 instance, okay, what your EC2 or AWS will do is it will collect all the information related to your EC2 instance and store it under your EC2 instance as a metadata. Simple. Whenever you create a EC2 instance, what AWS will do, it will collect all the information. What is that all the information? What is the public IP? What is the private IP? What is the instance ID? All these things. Okay, it will collect and store it as a metadata. So whenever you don't have the console access, you don't have, then how you're going to get the required details for you? You're going to get the details by using your metadata. Clear? What is metadata and why you require this metadata? Guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So let us see, this is one of the server. We logged in, correct? Now, just let me. Now, I've created one document, sir. Before that, I will explain this first. Now, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to know public IP of that server, public IP of test server that I just created. Test server we created, right? This is the test server we created. And for that server, I wanted to know the public IP. Okay. See, usually what used to happen is earlier, I'll just show you this. Where is this? Earlier, what was used to happen is if you just use this command, okay, if you just copy this command and paste it into your console or command line, it used to display all the details. But now, this is not a direct way, sir. Yeah, bro. Earlier, the command was you just need to curl HTTP IP address and instance ID. What is the private IP? If you just use this command, we used to get it. But now, what AWS has done is it has increased its security features. So we cannot directly use this command curl HTTP, whatever the command I just showed you, right? This command you cannot directly use it as of now. So what you need to do is, it is a slight different process. I'll just show you. First, you need to generate something called as a token. Everything is ready, sir. You just need to copy, paste. That's it. No need to invest your time. I'll just share all the details. First, what is the step? You need to generate a token. Let us see how to generate the token. See, I already included this file I'm sharing with you. Okay. Just copy paste this command. And one more thing, do not change anything in this command. This IP address, everything is same for everyone. Okay. Just copy paste this command. Yeah, why it is not working? Control C, come to your server. Okay. Just paste it. See, the moment I click on enter, there is some text, some token, some password gets generated. Okay. Just click on enter. See, it is generating some password here. Okay. So what you need to do now, just copy this. I'll just copy till your this one. till double equal symbol is there, right? Just copy till that point. Copy, just come back, and I'll just paste it here. This is the token we generated just now. What is the second step you need to do, sir? Second step is, I'll just give you another command. Okay, you just need to replace your token ID there. That's it. Replace your token. Okay, now where is that command? See, just copy this second. First we generated a token generation for this command. I copied this token. Next is, see, just copy this command. Where is that? I had one syntax for that one. That was very helpful for you guys. Okay, no issues. Just Control C. I'll create another file here. See, what you just need to do is just delete this part. Okay, just delete this part. Replace with your token just now you generated. That's it. Just Control V. Just copy this. Come back to your EC2 instance. Just execute. Please see, the moment I click on enter, what happens? See, you can able to see all these details. It is storing all these details. What is AMI ID? What is a host name? What is a public IP? Public host name, public keys, reservation, security group, all these details it is holding. If you just execute till this point, sir, just till metadata, if you just execute this command, first command, it is showing you whatever the details which are related to your EC2 instance, all this data is displayed. Now, I just wanted to know the public IP address. Okay, what I just need to do, same command to the same command, just copy, paste, Control V. After your metadata, just write it as public IP, public-IP. See, the moment I execute this command, I know this command will not work, but still I wanted to show you. See, if I just click on public IP and enter, it is telling you not found. This is because if you directly write it as public IP, it won't work. Public IPv4, Internet Protocol version 4. This you need to use. Okay. Just clear the screen, paste, and enter. See, this is your public IP 13.235.49.29. If you wanted to confirm, just come back to console. Where is this? See, can you able to see this? 13.235.49, 13.235.49. This is your public IP address. Same data is stored inside your EC2 instance. Okay. Now, if you wanted to know the private IP address, what is the process? Sir, anyone wants to try?
Yes, Sachin, at last, private IP4.
Yeah, let us try that. IPv4. Okay. Let us Control C. I'm just clearing the screen. Paste. Oh, yeah, it did not copy it. Okay. See what happens. What it is telling you. If you write it as private IP, it is telling you it is not found. What you need to do is you cannot directly write it as a private IP. You need to write it as a local IPv4. I think this is the one. Let's see. Okay, just let me execute this command. See, can you able to see this? 172.31.8.43. If you come back, 172.31.8.43. This is the same information which is available there. Okay, just like that, you can able to get all the details related to your EC2 instance. Okay, and this is how you get a private IP using your this command. And I just wanted to show you one more option here. If you wanted to get your private IP address, you just need to write down as host name. This is a another command. See, Linux is not yet completed. I'll keep on adding some more extra commands whenever it is required. Just add those commands. Okay. There is a command known as hostname. It displays you private IP addresses of the EC2 instance. Just enter. See, this is your private IP address of the your EC2 instance. If you just write it as hostname hyphen yes, hyphen not hyphen is hyphen f. See, hyphen f stand for, let me write it down. Hyphen f stands for FQDN. What is this FQDN? Fully qualified domain name. That is what it stands for. What is fully qualified domain name? See, whenever you it on your Google, how it looks like http://google.com. Some information is displayed, right? This one we call it as a FQDN with all the information. Fully qualified domain name. Okay, that details you can get it here. See, IP address along with where it is being created and what is the use of this private IP. I told you, right? Private IPs are used for only internal usage. Okay, so that's why it is displaying like that. This is another way of getting your private IP. And I'll just share this document with you guys. You just need to replace, see, if this command, it will display all the metadata. This command only public IP. This command only IPv4. And another way is you can use hostname. Both these commands will display the same IP addresses, a private IP address. If you wanted to know, just replace with availability zone. Region, again, same. And there are multiple things, AMIID, instance type, instance ID, all these details you can able to display, sir, using your metadata. Clear, guys? What is metadata? Why we are using this metadata?
Yes, sir.
I hope you guys understood this, what we discussed. Okay, that's it for today. I hope this is more for you today. Please go back and try to recall whatever the things we learned. Okay, so that's it. Thank you. Bye. See you tomorrow. Can you show us functional document to create EC2 instance? So what is this functional document? Okay, we'll see.